Okay, so now we're going to take a look at perfect price discrimination in a monopoly. First off, we have the normal monopoly graph. We have demand above marginal revenue. We have profit because we produce where MR equals MC, which is right here. Take that down to figure out our quantity of monopoly, which is lower than it usually would be, and up to our price, which is the demand curve, which is higher than the price normally would be. And the little box right here gives us our profit. Additionally, everything below the top line of the profit or the price represents producer surplus all the way down to the bottom of the marginal cost curve. We have the deadweight loss triangle, and then up top we have the smaller consumer surplus triangle because consumers are paying more than they otherwise would have. So, for perfect price discrimination, basically what we have said all along is the reason that the marginal cost curve is below the demand curve is because demand, we have to cut price to sell the next unit. So we would sell the first one at 40, but the next one we would have to cut it to 39, the next one after that we'd have to cut it to 38. But not only are we cutting this unit to 38, we're also cutting all prior units to 38. That means that the marginal revenue curve is going to be below demand. Now for perfect price discrimination, we cut the price to 39 to sell the next unit, but we still sold the first unit for 40. We cut the price to 38 for the next unit, but we still keep the prior units at 39 and 40. So what that means is, for perfect price discrimination, there is no marginal revenue curve. Demand goes back to being our marginal revenue curve, just like it was for perfect competition, Mr. Dark. All right, what else does that mean? It means we go back to producing at MR equals MC. But in this case, that is now over here. So what happens? We have a quantity for perfect price discrimination, and that is an increased quantity from what we were producing with our monopoly. All right, we don't have a price monopoly per se anymore. This top line goes away because we're charging all of these prices. All right, our quantity has now moved over. So, and then where we intersect ATC is now that point. And so what do we have now? We have no consumer surplus. All of this over to right there now represents a big profit or a maximum profit. And then this entire triangle represents producer surplus. So what does perfect price discrimination do? First of all, we see our quantity increase. We see profits at their max. And then the last thing that we see is no consumer surplus. And that is why firms would love to be able to perfectly price discriminate. Okay, bye.